Hey guys, PCMG here, and today I have a special thing to show you because it is my first sponsorship. Gigabyte was kind enough to send over this GTX 970 they had lying around because I couldn't edit my videos on the GTX 760 I was using. I had the option of this MSI GTX 280 2, but this doesn't have nearly as much performance as the GTX 760 has. In this video we're gonna take a look at the card itself visually and performance wise, and then we're gonna look up what these three cards are compared to each other in terms of performance. I wanted to include this GTX 282 because I want to take a look at all three options you have at the moment. The old GPU of your father or somebody you know, your old GPU that you didn't sell when you got a new GPU, and an older high-end graphics card that you can't get anymore. So all three options are not buyable today, at least not new. This card also isn't new, I figured, because it has some tears in the packaging, but that's okay. We're gonna see if it works. I am really sure it does. And thank you very, very much to Aorus Benelux on Instagram for sending this GPU over, and thank you very much RGB for the win on Instagram to have set this whole thing up. So let's get right into it and take a look at the packaging and the GPU itself. For the packaging, this is the packaging for the GPU itself, but normally when you get a sponsorship you get a little plastic figurine like RGB Daily and RGB for the win on Instagram, but this wasn't the case with this GPU, which is totally fine. This little Iron Bird insignia figure, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, that Aorus does have, would have been really cool, but it's completely okay. I still love the sponsorship. Okay, then let's unbox this card and see what is inside. You're gonna take a look at it first. Ta-da! Okay, so we have the GPU itself, a quick guide, and a real graphics true performance graphics accelerator driver. Nothing else in here. This wasn't packaged in an anti-static bag. I mean, it works, which is good, but it's fine. Let's put that aside and take a look at the GPU itself. It has 3 individual fans, and compared to the GTX 760 it's a little bit longer, and I can tell you the measurements of it in a second. The GTX 760 measures 24 centimeters and 2 millimeters in length, while the GTX 970 is 28 centimeters long. The height is a little bit different too, I think. The GTX 970 is 10 centimeters high, while the GTX 760 is only 9 centimeters high. The difference all three cards have is a backplate. While the really old GTX 280 does have a backplate, the GTX 760 does not, and the GTX 970 does have one again. This card ran notoriously hot under gaming loads, and also it only has 2 GB of VRAM. This GPU also ran pretty hot, but not as hot, because in here there is a full structure of heat pipes and aluminum heat sinks, while in this GTX 760 you could see in my video about it, where I painted it, it only has a little aluminum block on it. This GTX 970, however, does have a structure of heat pipes and aluminum heat sinks again, just like this one, just with more fans attached to it. What are the general specs of these three GPUs? At first, the GTX 280 does have 2 DVI ports and 1 S-video port. The GTX 760 does have 1 HDMI port, 1 display port and 2 DVI ports. And the GTX 970 supports 3 DP ports, so display ports, 1 HDMI port and 1 DVI port. In terms of power delivery, the GTX 970 does use 2 8-pin connectors. The GTX 760 uses 2 6-pin connectors, and the GTX 280 does use 1 6-pin and 1 8-pin. Both the GTX 280 and the GTX 760 use a blower fan design, while the GTX 970 uses a 3-fan design. In terms of RGB, the Windforce logo on the GTX 970 is illuminated, and the other 2 GPUs do not have any kind of RGB. The GTX 280 does have 1 GB of VRAM. The GTX 760 does have 2 GB, and the GTX 970 has 4 GB. So double the amount that I am used to by now, since my RTX 2080 is in an RMA. That would be all you can say about these GPUs for the moment. So let's compare them in terms of performance. The GTX 280 did score a 13,336 in CloudGate in 3D Mark. Why did I use CloudGate, a really outdated benchmark? Because the GTX 280 simply didn't support any other benchmark. The GTX 760 scored 25,845 points in the same test, and the GTX 970 did score 33,624 points in CloudGate. The system I used utilizes a Ryzen 5 2600X with 16 GB of 3000 MHz DDR4 G.Skill Aegis RAM. In the graphics test 1, the first contestant scored an average of 56.7 FPS, while the second contestant scored an average of 175.9 FPS, and the last contestant scored 330.6 FPS in the first run. In the second run, it was 66 FPS, 178 and 344. In terms of sound, the GTX 280 and 760 screamed for their life in this test, while the GTX 980 has stayed relatively quiet and inaudible, so that my hard drives were more audible than the GPU. I am editing the video right now, and I have noticed something really cool. The fans on the GPU stop when there isn't much load on the GPU itself, so that's pretty cool and pretty quiet too. That's all that's from editing video, and see you in the next video. My conclusion is I have been really inactive on YouTube in the last 6 months because I couldn't edit my videos on this GTX 760 because Premiere didn't like the 2 GB of VRAM on it. I didn't edit it on here because I don't have a DVI to HDMI adapter constantly. For this run, my cousin lended me an adapter so I can test it, and with the GTX 970 you will see if I can edit again when you see this video. I have produced a lot of content in these 6 months, and I'm gonna have sort of a plan to upload it, but for now it's only gonna be this video, and next month probably 1 video a month if I find the time for it. Yeah. Again, thank you very much to Gigabyte and especially Aorus Benelux on Instagram for sending this GPU over. I am really thankful for you to help me out, even though I have like 30 followers on YouTube and 300 on Instagram. So thank you very much. And with that, have a nice day and see you in the next one.